I and Vic I are here at the CIO Summit with Freddie Quek. Freddie, great to talk to you. And I know you've been doing some really interesting research. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So I'm doing a doctoral research study at the Henley Business School, and the topic is about how IT leaders navigate the challenge of running the business to protect and also changing the business to grow. And I think I'm sure you agree with me. This is a topic that almost every technology leader face with. And I thought, what better way than maybe doing research to get real data and then be able to contribute back to my profession, and not only that, to potentially help to position some of the conversations that's happening out there about should the technology leader be at the top table, those kinds of questions. And I hope that with a bit more data that might be useful in that context.
Yeah, fascinating topic. And I know that another passion of yours and a topic that so many are interested in is this concept of digital inclusion. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. My journey of consciousness started during COVID, like many of us. I have two children who are very privileged with a dad who knows a bit or two about technology, and I see them struggle. And then when I look further, I look at the schools, pretty good schools, the schools struggle also. And then it became something that I talked to many leaders, and then very quickly, over 3 weeks, I've spoken to 60 leaders, and now I realize that I've got this bunch of data. And being a researcher, I'm like, I should find a way to package it up and play back to my community. And this is how this thing called Joining the Dots started, where it started with a few leaders, and now we have 15 tech communities in the UK representing, all of us to do something about addressing digital inclusion, because it is not something that is a business thing that people want to solve, right? It's not sexy, but it's something that many of us as leaders were passionate about, because when we have that consciousness, just like I have, you realize that it is a big problem. How can we have a digital world where we're leaving people behind? And just as an example, as a number, if our measure of being digital is to be able to be connected to the internet, let's just use that as a very simple measure. Did you know what is the number of people in the UK and also globally that's not connected? Let me give you a number. 2.7 billion today. Last year was 2.6, this year is 2.7. So you can see the problem has not gone away. If we think that we are moving at pace towards a digital world where everything is digital, we are leaving a lot of people behind, from the young to the old. So I hope you can see why I do think that as a technology leader, we are always very strategic about thinking. We should take that and apply that not just to our work, but also to society at large.
I couldn't agree more. And it's great to hear that the technology leader community are coming together to
Yes.
address this problem. But here at the CIO Summit, we're discussing innovation, we're discussing security, we're discussing so many things, but we're also obviously discussing AI. And I'm just wondering, as a technology leader yourself, what are your insights into this emerging phenomenon of AI? What can you share with our community?
Now, if I look back at my career and the number of sort of shifts in technological advancements that makes us pay attention and take notice, let me paint that first initial pattern, right? First, I remember when the internet came along, I was in publishing, I did stuff, and then everybody else has a chance to get on board, create websites. E-commerce came along, again, we have time, not all companies went straight on board. In fact, I remember the early days, nobody wants to do it, right? And then mobile came along, same. And then cloud came along, all the argument about, oh, it's too dangerous, whatnot. But now we've taken all those other things for granted. We don't even ask the question why anymore. If you look at this AI technology, it's not new, but Gen AI is the thing that is making a lot of things very different. For one, the pace of being exposed to everybody is like the pandemic. How often do we get a pandemic in our lifetimes? Hopefully none, but yet we have experienced one. To me, Gen AI feels like it's that kind of pandemic where it hits everybody, number one. Number two is it democratizes technology for everyone. So in terms of other stuff in the past where we say, oh, you do not know, leave it to us, we are no longer the experts. We cannot claim to be the sole expert of this technology. But you know what? It's okay. Because it creates opportunities for us to play to our other strengths.
Very, very interesting insights there. I mean, I think you're potentially a very good person to ask this question because I wanted to address IT leadership. We have a State of CIO survey 2024, and 85% agree that the CIO is becoming a business change maker. And I'm just wondering if that's something that you're seeing, and how do you think it's going to develop?
So I do agree with that number or that sentiment. It's not new. If you look at the role of a tech leader, whether we are called CIO or CTOs, I always joke that I've been called many names in my career. So, right. But if you look at what is happening is that our role has always been a catalyst for change. Our role has always been a change maker anyway, because of putting something new in is change, having to improve things is change, making something different is change. We have learned to do things right, do things well, do things better, do things different. These are all things that we do, and because of that, guess what? If there's any profession or any sort of leadership role that has got that breadth and depth of exposure to an entire organization, you'll find that most IT leaders, our role is no longer just vertical but horizontal. So from just being sort of doing things in dealing with new technologies and processes, even myself, my role, and my peers too, we are moving into other areas in the business. Right, we got to be supporting what is happening in finance, in HR, in sales. So for me, it's like it's a natural extension.
Very great to hear your insights. Have a great session at the CIO Summit. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.